Good morning, everybody. Good morning. As y'all come on in, come on in. I just, I just walked back in the door. Um, yes, I have this as public. I made the stream last night, but I didn't set it as being live or set it as being public. Uh, y'all come on in. If this is your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, allow me to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbit, I still want to say welcome. But I want to give you a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning in to Tim's Tidbit, hanging out with me and my homeboy back here. Y'all see him. His name is Spidey. He be chilling by the window. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. I go live on Al Gore's internet every single day to talk about what? The price action, dealing with the S&P 500. Why do I decide to do this on Al Gore's internet for the free 99? It's to help someone like you get your aha moment when it comes to trading, investing, all things stock market. That's why I do it. So, and I can help instill the fact that you need discipline over dollars. If you like this shirt, feel free to support the channel in a financial way by going to the newtlr.com and buying you a shirt, sweatshirt, a phone case, even. Get you a phone case. If you want to support the channel in a financial way, do that. Also, you can join the memberships. If you want to support in a financial way, do that. Got it out there so, people can support in the way they feel. But I will continue to get on Al Gore's internet and share this information for the free 99 to let people know you need discipline over dollars. Now, before we get into the price action, right? I just want to talk for just a second. Before we get into the price action, I just want to talk for just a second, right? A cousin hit me up. They sent me a DM. I don't be on Instagram a lot. I poke my head out there to look at like funny videos, and I saw that I had a message from somebody, and I could feel his pain through the DM, right? And the reason why I'm sharing this with everybody, I'm not trying to point nobody out. I'm not trying to call out any names, right? What's the name just put in the Discord? First of all, good morning to everybody who tapping in. Shout out here to Learn and Share. 99% of the time gonna be first in the chat. Here to Learn and Share. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. It's only about 58 degrees in Columbus, Georgia. So the birds happy right now. The birds like, woo, woo, it's warm. Woo, it's warm. What's up, Pamela? What's up? Tume, Will, Lil Hawk, Randa. What's going on? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I ain't trying to point nobody out. But I feel like this is very important to talk about. Long story short, the cousin reached out to me and was like, hey, man, what strategy, what did you do? Matter of fact, I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put nobody's name out there, right? But this is important. This is important, right? This brother say, I'm trying my best to fire my boss. What strategy did you use or using now from ICT, right? To fire your boss. I need help. I'm sick of the rat race that I'm in. I feel this brother pain. I was there. I was there. I was sick of the rat race that I was in. But let me say this to this. I responded to the brother. And I'm gonna say this to everybody. Matter of fact, the easiest way for me to do it is just read my response to this brother to everybody, right? This is to everybody. The market didn't allow me to retire. It gave me the confidence to follow the plan that my wife and I already had in place. Here's my advice to you. 1, change your mindset about firing your boss. Instead, set a goal to replace or exceed your monthly and annual income consistently. 2, focus on reducing debt. 3, figure out the amount of emergency capital you want or need and save it. 4, figure out what trading strategy or technique works best for you. 5, practice that technique until you consistently hit your monthly and annual targets. Then trade live until you can consistently hit those targets without giving it back, meaning you can trade for longer than 1 to 2 months consistently. Then set a walkaway date. There is no such thing as a walkaway trade. I wish you all the success you desire, my guy. There is no such thing as a walkaway trade. Forget what these fool rules, gurus, and gamblers on Al Gore internet is telling y'all. Right? This ain't easy. Being a day trader is not easy. It's very stressful. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a well vetted, back tested, and practiced strategy to be successful at it. How do I know this? How do I know this? Because I didn't have a well vetted, back tested, and practiced strategy as a day trader when I retired. I didn't have one, right? But because I had a plan, right? Because I had a plan, my family and I were okay through my trial and error period, right? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? They say they want this life. You know what I'm saying? They say they want this life. You know, the trading, trading didn't allow me to retire. Did trading and investing allow me and my wife to pay off our house and that would like remove our last piece of debt? Yes, it did. But we paid off everything else before the house. The house was the last thing. Did investing in trading allow us to do that? Yes, it did. But come here, come up here close. Everybody scoot close to me. Have you ever in your life sent somebody a wire transfer of $96,000? 96,000 plus. Have you ever sent the wire transfer for $96,000? Oh, it hit different. It hit different when you got to send a wire transfer for that close to 6 figures. It hit different. It hit different. And then now you got to figure out, you got to go back and figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, build this thing back up. And you ain't got no like well vetted, back tested, and practiced strategy. You know what I'm saying? You got most of your money from luck and gambling and fathering other people, and you ain't really vetted nothing for yourself. Oh, it hit different. It hit different when the 96 gone, and you can't go back and be like, hey, let me get a little bit of that 96 back. Let me get a little bit of that 96 back. It hit different. But because we had a plan, you know what I'm saying? In the grace of God, we never had to dip into our stash. We never had to, you know what I'm saying, go without. We never had to, and I love my wife to death, but I promise you, them Sunday $120 brunches Oh, they hit different. They hit different. You say, hey, you want this. You want this right here, right? But you can't, as a man. Now I'm talking to the men right now, ladies. I'm talking to the men right now. Y'all can listen too. But as a man, right? If you telling your spouse, significant other, whatever, if it's just you, it's just you. But if you a man with I'm talking to grown men with families right now. If you telling your family, look here, this is what I'm gonna do to replace this income, right? And your family used to going to $120 brunches after church on Sunday. When you start doing this right here, you better have $120 every Sunday brunch money. And in order to have that, you got to have a consistent, well-vetted, well-practiced strategy. You can't be emotional. You can't be giving it back. So change them, everybody. Change, and Uncle Tim ain't fussing. I'm just letting y'all know the reality behind it. I'm letting you know they get on Al Gore's internet to make it look real sexy. They make it look real sexy. Yeah, I'm out here with my Lambos and all that. Most of that money is coming from people like you that's buying their courses. They're not making that money in the stock market on a daily basis. It's from people like you that's buying their courses. The reason why they got them Lambos. They're taking your money that you spent buying their courses and they're putting it into nice, safe, long-term investments that's printing. Shout out Wall Street Trapper. It's printing money for them every day. Every day is printing money for them. And they taking all your money, right? And imagine if everybody in the Spider Gang was paying me, everybody in the Spider Gang was paying me, just say $500 a year. And all of y'all paying me $500 a year, right? Everybody would be like, oh yeah, that's reasonable. $500 a year, that's reasonable, right? I take all y'all money, right? And I put it into an account. You know what I'm saying? And then I come out here and I trade with y'all, right? I might be risking this much of my capital, right? But since my account is so big, right? Let's say I got a $600,000 account because I took all the money that y'all gave me from buying my course or whatever. I got a $600,000 account, right? And I come out here and I make 1% a month. 1% a month. That's $6,000 a month. Let's do the math. Let's make sure my mathing, right? Let's make sure my mathing. Where's my calculator? Right? Let's come over here. Man, I just not noticed I ain't even got my Ninja Trader open. 600,000. 600,000 times 0.01. That's $6,000 a month. That's $6,000 a month. And all I did was make 1%. 1%, right? I'm not telling you that all I did was make 1%. I'm just telling you, yo, I cleared $6,000 this month. And then you're sitting there at your 9 to 5 thinking, man, if I can make $6,000 a month, let me go buy his course. Let me go buy. All I made was 1%. And then you buy my course, right? I drop your money into my account. You know what I'm saying? My account steadily growing. Everybody coming in trying to make that $6,000 a month. But I'm only making 1%. Do you know how easy it is to hit 1% a month in an account? I can take the smallest, most minuscule little trades and hit 1% a month. But since I've taken all of your money and put it into an account, I'm living like a fat rat, risking a little bit of money. The whole time I got you trying to fire your boss. If you got a $5,000 account, 1% a month ain't gonna let you fire your boss. If you got a $5,000 account, $5,000 account, that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just due for Fort Lauderdale, Florida, man. $5,000 is a lot of money to me. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money to me. I'm just due for Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But 1% on a $5,000 account ain't gonna let you fire your boss. So change your mindset about firing your boss. Learn a skill that's gonna change your life, right? You may never be able to fire your boss, right? Just you're a grown man, a grown woman, a grown person. You may never be able to fire your boss, but you can start to take the steps to teach your children how to not have to be an employee. You can start taking the steps right now to teach your children that they would never have to be an employee unless they decide, I just want to go out here and work. You can teach them this skill. You can learn this skill and teach them this skill, and you can implement this and pass it on to them. You may never be. Moses did not get an opportunity to get in the promised land. He did not get an opportunity he saw it. God showed him the promised land, but he did not get an opportunity. God told him, you ain't gonna go. I'm gonna show it to you, but you ain't gonna go. That ain't stop him from trying to save Israel, to keep Israel on track. That ain't stop him from trying to keep. He knew he wasn't gonna go. God told him, and he know God is gonna keep his word. But that ain't stop him. He ain't start hating on Joshua. He ain't start hating on Caleb. He ain't start hating on nobody. But he knew he wasn't gonna get there. You might never fire your boss. But let's change our mind. Because you ready? Are you ready to spend that 96? Spending that 96 hit different, you hear me? I'm just a simple dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm going to tell you, boy, when we sit them folk that 96, oh, that 96 hit different. That 96 hit different. Different. You hear these folk out here talking about this and that? Hey, it hit different. You hear me? Anyway, man. Hey, I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. I don't know where I'm at. Y'all know I just be freestyling when I be talking. But, man, if you don't get nothing else out of my rant today, change your mindset about firing your boss. Because there ain't no such thing as a walkaway trade, it ain't no such thing as a walkaway trade. Don't rely on the stock market to allow you to fire your boss. Come up with a plan. Write down your plan, right? You don't have to get a fancy book like this, but write down your plan, right? Here's some tips. This is how me and my wife did it, right? We looked at our budget, how much money coming in, how much money going out. We started to reduce the things that we need, that we want, right? We don't use our house phone, right? So I got the cheapest, because at where I am, our phone, internet, and cable, you get it all in one package with the company, right? So we got streaming services, right? And we got cable. We never watched cable because we're always watching the streaming services. So I called my cable company and said, hey, I don't want cable anymore. I just want internet and a phone. I just need a phone for my alarm system. Give me the cheapest phone that I can get. I don't want no three-way. I don't want no long distance. I don't want no call waiting. I just want the cheapest phone, just something that can ring, because I need it for my alarm system, right? Give me faster internet and then take off the cable, right? Immediately, my bill went from $280 a month down to $75 a month, right? Reduce that out. All of my streaming services that I got is far less than the amount I was paying for the cable that I wasn't watching, right? So my streaming services and my cable, now I pay far less than I was paying for just my cable bill, right? Then we was working on paying off other like debts, cars, credit cards. We was working on paying off that, right? We figured out with our current living expenses as we were then, how much do we need for 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? We decided on a year. Save that amount in the kitty, right? Boom. Once the kitty get there, nothing else goes in the kitty. That's just it. Nothing else. The rest of the money go into some type of investment, right? Nothing else goes in the kitty, right? So reducing debt, got the emergency fund set up, right? Figure out a way to replace the income. What do we want to do to replace the income, right? When we came up with this plan, this was my walkaway plan right here. Using these things right here, these little things, they call them cameras, right? This was my walkaway stuff right here. This was I was going to use this to walk away, right? I was going to use that to walk away. This was my walkaway thing, right? Tim's Tidbits. Tim's Tidbits was all about teaching people about video and photography. That's what Tim's Tidbits initially was, right? That was my walkaway strategy. Now, go out there and try to get enough work where I'm replacing my income, right? While doing that, I started to study about the stock market. Back in 2020, started to study about the stock market, learned about the stock market. By the time 2021 came around, I was fairly proficient at it, and I had the courage to say, hey, this right here can be my thing. I don't have to go out there and physically break my back, like shooting weddings, shooting commercials, dealing with people. I don't have to. This is what I can do. That's how Tim's Tidbits turned into teaching about the stock market, because I made a vow with God. Whatever you bless me with to be able to take care of my family, I will share it with the world for free. And that's how I got into the stock market and learning it and sharing my journey with people. The stock market I didn't have a home run trade that let me fire my boss. Me and my wife had a plan. My wife bought me this book in 2018. I read the passage right there to y'all. March 2nd, 2018. I don't know. Y'all probably, I don't know if y'all can see the dates right there. See, 3/2/2018. That's what that says, right? That says 3/2/2018 right there. 3/2/2018. She bought me this book in 2018, right? This right here was, see, TLR. Where is it? TLR Video Photography. That was our logo for the company. This was stationery that I bought her, you know what I'm saying, because it was supposed to be about TLR, right? 2018, she bought me this book. 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. That was 5 years ago she bought me this book. We had already had our plan in place when she bought this book, when she gave me this book and she wrote this out. Our plan was already in place. She got me this 5 years ago. So our plan was already in place. I didn't retire until 2021. She bought me this book 3 years before I retired. 19, 20, 21. Yeah, she bought me this book 3 years before I retired. Right? The stock market wasn't even in the picture when she bought me this book. When she wrote me this note, stock market wasn't even in the picture. Come up with a plan. Forget what these furus and gurus telling you on the internet. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Everybody you see doing something in life successfully, they grind at it, right? You're going to need your job. It requires capital to make money in the stock market. It requires capital. So if you want to do it with your own money, you're going to need your job to build the capital. If you're going to use your own money, it's going to take you a long time to get to a place where you're doing it in a responsible, safe manner, right? If you have the skill, if you've learned the skill and you've perfected the skill and you're super disciplined, there are ways for you to get funded and trade with other people's money. But please, please do not run and try to get into these funded challenges just so you can fire your boss. Please don't do that, because you won't be ready. You won't have the discipline required to suffer through the drawdown. You will spiral. I'm talking from experience. When you start losing real money, you will, just like that 96,000 hit different. Try losing $14,000 in one day. It's going to hit different. You're going to revenge trade. You're going to try to get it back. You're going to try to get it back. And like I say, through God's grace, me and my family are okay. But you will spiral. You will try to get it back if you're not ready. I've been doing this since 2020. Since 2020, I've been doing it, and I feel like I have come a long way. I feel like I am so disciplined. I feel like, I promise you, I feel like I'm so disciplined. I feel like I am so good at this. I feel like but I sat down and had a real conversation with myself. And I decided, I wrote down my plan. I wrote down my plan here. I decided, I gave myself a timeline where I'm going to sit down. And I said, look, I'm going to be able to read these candles. Story time. I'm going to break this right here for story time. I told my wife this the other day. She said, you need to share this with your son. Because Timothy wasn't in the car. Christopher was in the car. We had dropped Timothy off already at school. And I said, when I was taking some college courses, when I first got, I was like relatively new to Columbus. I was taking some college courses, right? And my first semester, I got all A's, right? I got all A's. I had a full load. I was going to work. I got all A's, right? Single dad, going to see his kids on the weekend. Me and my wife was dating at the time. So it's like I got all A's, right? And so I set a goal. I said, I'm going to get my diploma, because I was taking the diploma program. I said, I'm going to get my diploma with all A's. I set that goal after the first semester, right? The ladies at the job, it was some older ladies, Miss Ann and Miss Audrey. Every time it was time for grades to come out, they coming in there to see, because I showed them the first time. I showed them that I had all A's, right? I didn't tell them I set a goal to get all A's. The next time I had all A's, then it became this thing. Over the next 2 years, it was this thing where every time grades was coming out, they coming to see if I'm getting all A's. They ain't giving me nothing. I'm a grown man at work. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving me nothing, but it became this thing where it was like an inspiration to them. Just off my personal goal of getting all A's. I got my diploma with a 4.0. I never got one B for 2 years straight. Right? Never got one B for 2 years straight. Now, why did you say all that, Tim? I feel like I'm good at this, right? I've been studying this for a long time. Stuff comes relatively easy to me if I put my mind to it. But I sat down with myself and I had a long conversation with myself. And I said, Tim, you are good, but you want to be able to read these candles like ICT. I was like, yeah, Tim, you're right. I do. I said, I want to be able to read these candles like ICT. So you're not going to be satisfied being a one-trick pony by just using your liquidity run reversal. Say, yeah, Tim, you're right. I'm not going to be happy being a one-trick pony. I got to know the ins and outs of his whole strategy. So I wrote down in my book a plan of what I was going to do. Now I got myself on a journey where I got a phase where I'm not taking any trades. I'm just reading the price action. And then I got a date set for when I'm going to go back and everything that I did while reading the price action, I'm going to implement in a SIM account. Everything that I did, I'm implementing it in a SIM account. Right? Why are you doing that, Tim? You know how to trade. Because I know how to trade well using one strategy. But I want to be able to do this on the level that ICT doing it on. He's been doing it for 30 years. He's been doing it for 30 years, but I want to be able to do it on the level that he's on. So I got an amount of time that I'm going to set just reading the price. And then I'm going to sim trade the same stuff, reading the price, being able to take any kind of trade I want to take. And then once I do that, then I'm going to trade. And I'm going to allow the money that I make from trading to pay for funded account evaluations. And then when I pass the funded account evaluations, right, I'm going to do one first. And then if I like it, if I like the payout, it ain't no issues with me getting my money, all right there, then I'm going to do multiple. And then I'm going to use other people's money to make money. And why am I doing that? Because it's free money. Just like when I was on my job, I invested in my 401 because my job matched it. Now, if I get this funded account and you tell me the first 8,000 or the first 12,000 or whatever it is mine, that's $8,000 or $12,000 I never had. All I got to do is be a consistent trader. All I got to do is be a consistent trader, and you're going to give me $12,000? That's free money. That's free money. Give me my 12. I pay my taxes. Then I'm going to go put that 12 in my kid's account. Or whatever left over after taxes. Go put that in my kid's account. Right? And then if I get multiple accounts, all I got to do, I got 4 accounts, right? With $150,000 per account, right? Let's go back and get the math to mathing. Let's get the math to mathing. Just say I did 4 accounts, 150,000 times 4. What's that? That's 600,000. That's the example I used already. So now, right? 6,000. 6,000. That's the example we used earlier. How look at God working. Divided by 4. I got 4 accounts. All I got to do is make $1,500 per account. $1,500 per account every month. I'm not risking a whole lot of, I'm not trying to hit no home runs. I got 4 accounts, 1,500. Let's say the accounts that I'm in is a 80-20 split, right? 1,500 minus 20%. So that's 1,500 minus 20%. It's gonna give me 1,200. So we got to go up. Let's say 2,000 minus 20%, 1,600. So I roughly make $2,000 a month in each account. I can bring home $6,000 a month off of an 80-20 split. I'm not trying to hit home runs, bunting, taking base hits, just bunting. And I'm using other people's money. But I can't use other people's money if I'm not a consistent, disciplined trader. Ain't no such thing as a home run, man. Ain't no such thing as a home run. Build your plan, stick to your, execute your plan, stick to your plan. I appreciate y'all, man. I ain't get to no price action today because I was just somebody said it took me 3 years, then COVID happened. That's it, man. That's it. Hubby and I paid off all debt so I could fire my job. Now we're working on our home. I'm not a homemaker, full-time trader. God is good. Yes, he is. God is good all the time. That's it, Sanjay. Make the system and stick to it. Live below your means. That's it, man. Market. Yes, learn the skills, supplement, and that's it, man. Hey, so glad ICT recommended Black Spider Game because I was that's what's up. Appreciate it. Bro, I was talking to a friend yesterday about a guy who invested $250K and yet to see profit. Now he wants to do options. Bad. Man. Make your answer a gem. Okay, we'll do, Rhonda. Hey, I ain't even opened up my my what's name. I ain't even opened up my my Ninja Trader. Let's the market already open. Let's see what's going on in the market. Let me open up this Ninja Trader. We're gonna peek at what's going on in the market, and then Black Spiders, I'm gonna start the live stream. I'm gonna start the live stream as soon as I peek at the market. Let's go see what our friend doing, man. We got a friend who'll go by the name of Spalene. If you don't know who she is, that's the SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Get out the way, Ninja Trader. We wrote a song for her. Want to hear? Here we go. Spalene, where you at, baby? Here I go. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad that you came through. Oh, Spalene, look what you done do. Spalene gapped down. Was PPI bad? Do anybody know what's up with PPI? Was PPI bad? I haven't looked at anything. We gapped down, so I'm assuming the market dumped on PPI. That Chess World, was that you from Instagram? It say thanks for taking the time to answer my question. Was that you from Instagram? If that was you from Instagram, y'all know how I get when I see something. Y'all know how. Hey, Chess World, if that was you from Instagram, I feel your pain. I don't know if you saw the whole thing, but you know what I'm saying? If that's you, I just want to say directly to you, man to man, I feel your pain, right? The stuff that I wrote to you in there, my brother, take it to heart. I ain't saying you got to do it. I ain't saying you got to do it my way. Just take it to heart and understand that it ain't no such thing as a home run trade that's going to let you fire your boss. Learn the skill, figure out what works best for you. Back test, vet, practice your strategy, then implement your strategy, perfect it, when you get to the point where you can consistently replace your income without giving it all back, set your walkaway date, stick to your plan, but have everything in order. The most pressure in the world sits on your shoulders when you don't know where your next dollar coming from and you got to take care of your family. It's so much pressure that sit on your shoulders. It will affect you mentally, and your mind got to be clear to be effective in this market. So have a plan. Have a plan, stick to the plan, and trust God. And like I just said earlier, you may not be able to fire your boss, but don't let that stop you from learning the skill and teaching it to your family. Because Moses ain't get a chance to get in the promised land, but that ain't stop him from grooming Joshua. That ain't stop him from, you know what I'm saying? Don't let it stop you if you can't fire your boss. And I appreciate you for reaching out to me. I appreciate you for tapping in. This is why I do what I do. For moments just like this right here. This is why I do what I do, so I can be real with a brother and a sister and let them know that it is possible, but it ain't no Princess and the Frog fairy tale scenario. Spiraling gap down. Let's go over here to the ES. ES hit that daily consequent encroachment that I had put on my chart right here at this 4168.25. That's the daily consequent encroachment from February 14th. Wick overnight. We went up there, hit that consequent encroachment. How high did we get? We got to 4168.50. The consequent encroachment was 4168.25. So we went up to that consequent encroachment, and then we came back down. We've taken out yesterday's. So we took out yesterday's high, hit consequent encroachment. Now we've come down and taken out yesterday's low and got down to the bottom, just past the bottom of this daily fair value gap that we had been using as support, right? And for those who don't understand what I mean, we set a daily fair value gap with February 9th's daily candle, right? So this red candle here is February 9th's daily candle. The fair value gap is in between February 8th's low and February 10th's high. That's the daily fair value gap right there, right? We've been using that as support ever since we came back, and we offered the buy side. We had a SIBI, a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. We offered the buy side on February 13th. Then on February 14th, we came back down to the bottom of that fair value gap, right, and rejected off of it. We came back down on yesterday to the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap and bounced back off of it. Then today, as I said, we went up, took out yesterday's buy side, hit the consequent encroachment of the February 14th wick, and then we came down to the bottom of that fair value gap again, and now we're pushing back up off of it. Now that is close to we came very close to the monthly box equilibrium that we had marked out. This was our new monthly box that we had marked out using January's low and what is that, August high? Yes, using January's low and August high. That's our new box for the monthly range, right? We've come very close to that monthly equilibrium. The weekly, I don't have my weekly equilibrium on here for some reason. The weekly equilibrium is we're right at the weekly equilibrium. Weekly equilibrium is at 4108 even, and we're right around weekly equal. So we're in the middle of the road still, right there around. We came down to the weekly equilibrium pretty much. 4108. No. I'm in the wrong spot. This is the weekly equilibrium. So that right there is the the sell side I had marked out. In between the buy side and sell side, in between the buy side and sell side, we're at the equilibrium now. For the range of this piece of the price leg that I had marked out where the buy side was resting and the sell side was watching, we're in the middle of that range right now at 4108. I apologize for that. And that's the January 31st low down here at 44,750 and the February 2nd high up there at 4208.50. That's the price leg where I had the buy side and the sell side resting, right? Now the weekly, we're at the middle of that range. Now the weekly equilibrium, based off of February 7th and February 10th, that's last week's range, right? Last week's high and low. Equilibrium for that is at 4124.50. So we're in a discount for the weekly range. We're coming up to the monthly equilibrium, and we just pushed through that fair value gap to the downside. Overnight, right? We just kind of melted down. No, overnight, I'm in the wrong. Okay, so overnight, we was right at the high. We pushed up, as you see, came up to that consequent encroachment of that wick, went back up, touched it again, consequent encroachment of that wick. Then we started to melt down. I'm assuming this is the news candle. Yes, it is. That's the 8 o'clock candle. So the news happened in there that pushed us down below the buy side. I mean, the sell side. The body closed right inside that range. And now we're pushing down again, very close to that that monthly equilibrium level that I was talking about. There is a imbalance down here on the hourly. We got an hourly imbalance off the 3 o'clock candle. That'll be the 4 o'clock candle on Ninja Trader from February the 13th. It's from February 13th. Consequent encroachment, eyeballing it, it looks to be right there at that monthly equilibrium at 49.550. Looks to be a consequent encroachment there. We have taken out the sell side. We got a huge SIBI here, right, and another SIBI up there. So we got large imbalances above price, and we took out buy side, came down and took out sell side. So we've cleared both sides of the boards. We took out the daily buy side first, then we came all the way down and took out the daily sell side. So we've run both sides of the board, right? And we this was an hourly consequent encroachment. This right here is that is it this one? Might be this candle right here. What's the thing I got on there? Gee, didn't mean it. Consequent encroachment, 8 a.m. 60-minute wick on 214. Yes, so yes, that's that consequent encroachment of that wick right there. This green line is consequent encroachment of this 8 o'clock wick right here. That'll be the 9 o'clock wick on Ninja Trader. So this is, I got delayed data on this right here. So let's see what it looks like in real time. In real time, it's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. You see the stuff still on there. It's the same thing over here. It just says 9 a.m. on here. That's the 60-minute consequent encroachment. That's the daily consequent encroachment that we hit. That's the fair value gap. I mean, that's the monthly box there. Coming back down to, we got a new week opening gap down below equilibrium. That's the new week opening gap from the 29th. What was that? How many weeks ago was that? From 2 weeks ago. We're making our way down to the new week opening gap from 2 weeks ago. That's below the equilibrium. So if we get down past, see what price wants to do. We just took out sell side again here, right? So we've taken out sell side here. So be mindful. We may reverse back up into this imbalance, this huge imbalance, because we took out the daily buy side, took out the daily sell side, and then we ran sell side under these relative equal lows right here, right? There is a small inefficiency down here, and there's a small one down here too. So it may get down there, but since we just took this sell side right here, it may reverse a little bit before coming down. And the reason why I say that is we took buy side, delivered it to sell side, right? After we took out that sell side from the buy side, we took sell side again. So now that we've taken this sell side, the market will more than likely reverse some before continuing down, or it can be a complete reversal. So just watch out for that. Just watch out for that. We've just taken sell side. All right. What you say? How you label your lines and then trader 8. Oh, that's just a separate tech. Ninja Trader make it so complicated. It's that you can't, like, on Trading View, you can just double click it and put the type on there and it be on the line. With Ninja Trader, you have to do separate things. You got to do a text. Like, so this right here is a text, and like you see the price over here is 41.73 86. So I just round it up, and so I take a text, I name it, and I anchor it to the same price, right? Same price in the same time. So this candle is the 9 o'clock candle. This line is right there at this is actually a fib. This right here is actually a fib that I got a preset set for, where when I want to know consequent encroachment, like if I just go to the default, I'm just gonna load my I just load my projections. It don't matter, right? So this is actually a fib. See, so it's a fib here, and it's anchored from there to there. It's anchored between 41.61.25 and 41.86.50. But I got a preset called consequent encroachment mean threshold, where I got it to only show me that middle line with the price and the percentage, right? So that's my trick around getting the line named, right? And then when I want to really understand what it is, I just make a text box, right? I make a text box and I anchor it to the same price level, right? So I anchored it at 41.74 because it's right there at 41.74, and it anchors it to that line. So when I shrink it and move it around, it stays at 41.74 and it stays at the time of 9 o'clock. So I set it for the date and the time and the same price. And so when I, when I move it around and stretch it around, the line, the text stays with the line. It don't, it stay with the line because it's anchored in the same spot. But Ninja Trader make it super complicated to like name the lines. And then, the easiest way I could do it with that was with the fibs, and it give me, instead of me trying to like, line it up, I just run the fibs and let the fib do that. That was just like my little sneaky little way of doing that. We got SMT before I go, we got SMT divergence. The Dow is heavy to the downside. The Dow has taken out lows, right? SMT divergence, right? The Dow is heavy to the downside, has taken out lows. The NQ has not taken out lows, and the ES has taken out lows. So we got SMT divergence. The NQ is failing to make lower lows. Oh, these are hourly candles, right? And the NQ is leading strength wise on this hour. The NQ is still slightly green. The Dow is very negative, and the ES is the red-headed stepchild in the middle. So be mindful of that. We got SMT divergence on the NQ. The NQ is not making lower lows with the ES. I would advise, if you want to, trade, go out and look and see what the dollar doing. See if the dollar showing risk on or risk off. I ain't gonna go no further into that. I'll let you figure that out. And it's 9:56. Black spiders are jalapenos. For taking so long to start the live stream, but I'm about to jump over there and start the live stream now. Everybody else, you're welcome, Audrey. I think ICT is live streaming today. If I advise you to tap into his live stream, can't nobody call the counters like him that I know of. Black Spiders, I'm about to start the live stream now. Everybody else, I'll see y'all tonight at 6:30 for the price action recap. If you're gonna trade, please trade safe. If you're not gonna trade, please take copious notes so you can go back and thumb through all those notes to get a good understanding of what you saw today. I'll see y'all tonight at 6:30. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm gone.